Welcome to Geek Nerd Tech on Black Hollywood Live. Today, the WannaCry virus rips through the United States and Alien Covenant drops in theaters. Let's go.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live's Geek Nerd Tech. I got the moves. I got the moves. Oh, I'm making moves. You gotta move. She made that back move. Damn. She made the titties move. Damn. I made the city move. Like, whoa. I made the city move.
Welcome to Geek Nerd Tech, the show we break down tech news and nerd culture from a black and brown geek perspective. My name is Joe Braswell. This is Keely Shine. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Got the moves, bro.
Got the moves, like Big She's. Actually, I didn't like Big Sean's performance at the MTV Movie Awards, though. Did you see that?
I didn't really dig it either.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like Sean is like super dope to me, but he's also, I don't say hit or miss, but it's like sometimes he comes with fire personality wise and performance wise. Other times he like put me to sleep. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't go that far as say he's putting me to sleep. I would just say that I kind of agree with him. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I don't think he's hit or miss.
Okay.
I think the performance was just bland. Maybe that's what you mean by that.
That's what I mean. Like every other time, I feel like I'm a Big Sean fan. Let me just go over. I'm a Big Sean fan. I like everything he does musically. I'm just saying when I see him do interviews or public live show, whatever his public personal game is, it feels like there's a couple of missteps. But I guess you can't be on all the time.
Well, you need to be on all the time.
Yeah, so
the greats are always on.
Yeah, so that's what I'm feeling.
I get what you mean.
But it's all good. Lots to discuss today. We got some pop culture stuff. We got a big virus that ripped through the world. But first, I just always like to check in, with the real world, and your boy Trump, man, he's really doing it. I just want to get your quick reactions to obviously fired Comey last week, and then this week, the next day, he had the Russians in the Oval Office
taking photos,
and then only the Russian press, and then. Taking photos for the Russian press wasn't, American press wasn't allowed, of course. And then it is now known that he told Comey that you better hope there's no tapes of what he did, and insinuating he recorded some stuff a la Nixon, which is not good.
Right.
But then Comey, who's no dummy, who's the top cop of the United States for a reason, took memos of every interaction he's had with Trump and all this other stuff, and he takes copious notes. And if the paper trail, and where Donald Trump said that he wants Comey to left the investigation of Flynn, and that does have a subpoena-able. People will subpoena it, and they will call Comey to the stand, and that could be the end for your boy Donald Trump. The next question is, do you think this is the beginning of the end? Or do you think he's going to move out of the way?
I mean, there's always moves, man. There's always moves. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that the people around him are that smart, but I also don't think that they're that stupid. They'll figure out a loophole. They'll figure out a way to distract us. They'll figure out a way to prevent something from happening. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they would have fired him unless they had a few other moves behind that move. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to think that. But I begin to think these guys are really not that smart.
I mean, they've done a lot of smart things since they've been in office.
In terms of distraction.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And I think that the Republican apparatus, as it is, the right-wing apparatus, is really why they're so quiet, why no one's slamming down to impeach Trump or get him out of there, because they're trying to get these agendas through. They get the tax cut through, trying to get everything deregulated. They got an agenda. Yeah. So once all their shit's taken care of, once they get their tax cut, and once they get their tax cuts for the rich, and once they get everything deregulated, and once they get all the stuff they need, and then they're gonna get Trump out of there.
Yeah, they have no allegiance after that.
Right. So we'll see, but it's really alarming how little the right is
being vocal about it.
Nothing to see here.
Exactly.
I mean, Comey had to go. Hey, Russia's Russia. Hey, you know what? This is more about the leakers. It's not about the press. It's about the leakers.
Right. It's always some displacement, no ownership or responsibility.
Anyway, I just think that's interesting because circling back to tech, he said he has tapes, which is very 2017. He put tapes in quotes, so who knows what that means. But also, I love the fact that Comey, who I think we all have problems with, but Comey is old school. He took notes on a notepad, took some notes, handwritten notes. So we'll see where this leads. But to that point, I'm thinking about another story that came up earlier is the idea of, all these smart TVs and the idea that they're, the way these smart TVs are enabled now, internet enabled, camera enabled, all these different devices, that they are all devices that potentially NSA and other people could just tap into and be in your house. And so there's this whole, Chamber of Commerce is injecting itself. They're basically trying to stop this lawsuit over Vizio Smart TV. And it's a really interesting fight, and I just want to know your thoughts on the smart TV revolution, and do you think this is the end?
I don't think it's the end. I mean, I think that that needs to be regulated in some regards, because all the Internet of Things, like, it's always collecting information, devices speaking to each other, and that information obviously is leveraged to solve problems, make money, et cetera, et cetera. But I think in terms of the television watching us, recording us, capturing us, like, I think there needs to be some type of functionality built into the programming that maybe the user can have some more control over. But if just like a blanket, like, hey, your TV is recording and siphoning all the information, like, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like, we like the idea of smart TVs, and everything's now sort of smart enabled. But at what point, does that begin to be a danger? And another question I have is, like, so even if your TVs weren't smart enabled, what about, like, these other devices? Like, you're hooked up to something, whether it's Apple TV or whether it's Google, or some of these devices, ultimately your TV is hooked up to the internet at some point.
Yeah.
So, like, I am in the process of trying to do my house, like, no cables. So I've been having a completely Wi-Fi internet house, and now I'm like, shit, I don't know. Is that a good idea?
Yeah, we have an Amazon Echo at the house. I mean, anything that's like voice activated, I think you got to be careful. I mean, because if it could respond to your voice, that means it's listening. So it could listen to stuff when you're not even talking to it. So if it's your smart TV, if it's a Siri enabled, Alexa enabled device, like, those are the things you really have to be watchful over, and that could be very problematic, because who knows who, like you said, it could be NSA, it could be who knows who's listening to that information.
The Alexa is particularly scary, because you be like having conversations, like, you're like in a fight with your girl, having a serious conversation or saying some really, like, private shit, and you look over and the echo's like blue light.
Like, I didn't text her. Alexa. No.
Like, yes, you did on 34
right.
on April 10th. No, but it's the idea that you look over and it's listening, and you're like, stop listening.
I've seen that happen in my crib. Like, why is the blue light? It'll be quiet. It'll be no sound. I'm like, Alexa will come on. I'm like, we didn't activate you. Why are you even on?
Hey, wait. Hey, what you listen to?
Right.
Just checking. No. Anyway, that's all weird. Okay, so we'll just see how this plays out, but it's definitely interesting. I want to move on to the WannaCry ransomware virus, the WannaCry hackers. This whole thing that sort of dropped in through mostly through Windows stuff. And this is just makes me. Why does anyone have? It seems like Windows is still. PCs are so hackable. It seems like they're so hackable. Why do people still fuck with PCs?
I mean, they're cheaper. What do you mean? They're cheaper. They're easier.
God.
They're more modular. You're able to customize what you want in there. So I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it.
I guess it's just every single hack, every single thing that comes through the PCs for that reason. They're just easy to f with. Anyway, so what it came through, spread around. It's very dangerous. The idea of holding people for ransom, saying basically, if you don't, pay us this, we will put this out. Not necessarily related, but around the same time, this just happened to, Bob Iger said that these folks did that with the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and he said he's not paying, and so we'll see what happens there. But there's just a bunch. I'm just gonna go because there's a bunch of stories in this ransomware, but I just want to just talk about it in general. But like and of course. Most of this there's an idea that most of these ransomware attacks point back to North Korea, and there's like a North Korean gang who's in there, which, by the way, kind of separately, the idea of these cyber gangs. I mean, I don't know what they look like. I don't know, like a bunch of hard thugs in a room, but like the idea of these room full of people in China, these room full of people in North Korea,
Hey, they're everywhere.
Room full of people in Russia.
They're here too.
Like a room full of people here, like literally, it's like 600 people just on terminals. Like that's their job, 9 to 5 or 12 hours a day. That's scary shit.
And I wouldn't say they're all centralized in one room. I wouldn't say
Right.
that. I would think that they're pretty spread out too. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm sure they are. But you've seen these photos, or you've seen these descriptions of like China, for instance, that have these giant
Yeah,
like.
but those aren't hackers though. Those are programmers for a company. Like how is a hacker gonna shoot where they are with all the people? That doesn't make sense.
No. I'm saying I've read stories. I've seen the pictures, but they're described as these big sort of giant boiler room things where like multiple people are just sitting at terminals. That's how they're described. Now, maybe it's
A
wrong.
legion of hackers.
I just like, we're gonna get you. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of this, but it's like I don't know. It seems like it is. I don't want to try to be overly alarmist and scary about this sort of thing, but I don't really see. I don't see a way out. Like, this is scary shit. Like, how do we combat this?
It's a part of where we are. We're in a digital world, so as long as you have the dependency on the technology, you're gonna have people that are gonna thwart that and use it to their advantage. I mean, that's just a part of it.
Right.
It's a part of anything. Like, there's always been, that ebb and flow of people trying to take advantage of, find loopholes and leverage things for themselves, regardless of what the medium is. Now the medium is computer and computer programming. So and be able to tackle systems and corporations and be able to leverage that for personal gain or even political gain. So I mean, I think that's just a part of the landscape. In a way, I think it provides a certain balance. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these companies are greedy and corrupt, and sometimes it's the hacker that's exposing them. Even though, and who knows, they might be trying to get the money out of them, but they don't. You don't know what they're going to do with that money. They might disperse it in places that actually need it. So I wouldn't put like this negative demarcation over just hackers in general. Some hackers are actually trying to be more like liberators. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Well, I mean, it can't all be bad.
Exactly.
So anyway, it's interesting. I'll move on to this story. There's this, I think it's really cool. I don't know how this works, but this giant vending machine, Marissa, is where I want to go to. Yeah, it's a giant vending machine, and it's in actually, I don't know where it is. In China?
No.
Where is it?
I think it's in Taiwan or something.
Taiwan, okay. But yeah, dispenses car. Dispenses cars. I mean, I think that is one way to do it, but I think just the optics and the visual, setup of it is there. I mean, I don't know if you.
It doesn't just dispense cars; it dispenses luxury cars.
That's right.
So
cars.
I've actually seen one. This is like a parking lot though.
Okay.
But I haven't seen like a car dealership, and I mean the idea that you can make a purchase online or through
go
your
and just swipe your card.
No, you can't swipe the card.
Just wait for the car to come down and
No,
drive
that's
off.
That's not how it works. You got to do all the application through your phone or through the internet, and then you're able to get it, and it comes down and get your car.
Wow, but it's yours, or is it like a rental joint?
I think for this joint, it's a rental joint.
Okay.
But I've seen like the parking lot ones where you can actually swipe your card and your car comes down and then you drive off.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's great. I mean, like there's things that are happening now, like Turo and some of these other rental companies that are like pretty almost like teleportation. I use Turo, and you press a button and then within an hour a car is delivered to you, and that's really insane, and you're driving it, or you're at the airport and they deliver a car to you. Like, so
I think this is dope because I mean a lot of urban settings, you don't have the real estate infrastructure to be able to have like a traditional car dealership where it's laid out and you have kind of like this landscape design. So this vertical design now, I think it's kind of cool because it saves space. It's efficient. You're able to, still be able to fit the needs of the city, in terms of how everything's designed. So still be able to make profits. I think it's cool.
And I think that like at the end of the day, like I think you just hit on it. At the end of the day, this isn't really about. There's a vending machine full of cars. It's really a design story. It's really an urban planning story because like obviously, like you said, in these ever expanding cities, you can't you can't make a big sprawling thing like you said, or even like some that these Walmarts and like these things in the valley and in the suburbs. We have like there's a Walmart and a Costco and a and a Best Buy like that. You can't do that everywhere, so you have to figure out ways to new ways to do that.
I mean, like even like the Target in downtown in LA, like the subterranean
city Target.
Exactly. I mean, just figuring out ways to leverage and utilize the space in a different dynamic way. I think that's cool.
I think it's cool. This is also a weird story. It's interesting. The story, I like it because it's a funny story. It's not funny, it's interesting. But Evan Spiegel of Snapchat, he lost $1.22 billion after a little stock. Snapchat's stock dropped 23%. And it's weird how they reported this because the drop is a drop and it happens and it's all it is what it is, but they're reported as a loss of billions of $1 billion by Evan Spiegel, and I wonder if that's.
But it is.
But I never hear anything reported like that. You never hear like the CEO of Chrysler just lost.
Oh, I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, reading Forbes all the time. Like I've heard those stories. I mean, but that's a part of it, and they'll gain $1 billion. Like, so I mean,
and it's the same thing. It's like because obviously I was wondering if it was just because of the fact that like Snapchat famously turned down all these people, turned down all these bees. So it's almost, is it like people want to see Evan fail, or is it like people because Snapchat is. I don't know. People seem to. There's like a backlash of Snapchat going on right now.
I would say there's a lot of hoopla in them going public, and so because of all that hoopla and all that energy behind it, you want to see results. And this is your first reporting, and it's a fail, but that's why.
What about all this stuff that's going on in Venice? Like they built these giant, crazy, sprawling studios in Venice, and they're still building them, and Venice residents are furious. They're picketing every day. Snapchat's it just seems like every time I turn up, there's some sort of anti-Snap situation. But
I think it's more anti-tech. I mean, especially on the west side, we don't want Silicon Valley coming down here.
Yeah, well, Silicon Beach is the big talk. Yeah,
right. So I think that's what it is, but I don't think that's directed, solely to Snapchat.
Okay, that's fair. I just think, the reason why I mention it like that is the fact that, Zuckerberg. Like same thing happened to Zuckerberg. Like Zuckerberg, Facebook stock dropped 14%. Zuckerberg lost a cool 1.6 billion, and it feels like no one was like Zuckerberg got it.
Because at the end of the day, he's putting up W's. He is. He's putting up W's. Like when you look at his yearly report, he's checking off boxes. Maybe the quarterly wasn't as hot for him. But if you look at all 4 quarters, he's going to be winning.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is something that you could say about Snapchat yet. So
very true. Okay. Moving on. Uber. They're on the move with these autonomous cars, and then Lyft is trying to do the same. Lyft and Waymo, which is Waymo is Google's joint, are doing a self-driving thing. So there's apparently there's the engineer who's working on Uber's project, who's working on all the projects. But because of this, I'm not sure if I get the story right.
No, it was an engineer working for Waymo. I think he decided to go work for Uber, and upon his departure, he took a lot of information that was being developed at Waymo, and they're saying that he utilized that to facilitate the technology being built at Uber. And so the court said that he can no longer work on Uber until this is found to be a fact, and so that's what it is. But the fact that Lyft and Waymo have collaborated is a huge thing, because both of those companies were kind of in direct competition with Uber, and so now that they've teamed up, it's okay, Uber, and especially with all the stuff that's been happening with Uber just in the news, beyond their technology issue, I think it's just a bad look for them. I think that they've been hit hard since what was that when they what month? Well, I think that was 2 months ago when they were when the travel ban was on, and Uber said we'll still pick up people or whatever. Yeah, they've been back-to-back hits, back-to-back hits. So
obviously before that, the CEO thing,
sexual harassment.
So
and stuff.
man, Uber, I don't they can't catch a break. But you know, they're still making that money. I've subconsciously gotten almost. I'm like 98% off Uber. I'm like Lyft all day long right now.
Interesting.
And I don't know. I didn't particularly take a stand. It just is how it's been working out. I don't know if that whether oriented on my phone, but you know, I used Uber once, I think, recently, and it was fine. But I used to be exclusively Uber. Now I'm Lyft. I wonder how Lyft is doing in the overall market share.
They're still number 2. So
okay.
They haven't
closing
toppled.
ground. I wonder.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that they had the potential to close ground by being the first to market with driverless technology, but in terms of their global domination, it's nowhere comparable to Uber.
Yeah. I wonder how those 3 companies in Austin that we saw are doing.
They're doing great in Austin.
Yeah, they're doing great in Austin. Like, okay. Moving on to this notion of Apple. So yeah, this is a dump. So I don't want. We'll touch on it. Apple's really having a big bet. We've talked about this a lot, how they're really betting heavily on this new generation of Siri. You know, they were kind of one of the first with Siri. Siri was first in Apple. It was a big deal. People used it. I just still thought, because Siri spent 2-3 years being kind of buggy, most people are kind of off it.
Siri sucks.
Yeah, most people are off it. So even though they made improvements to it of late, and it is better, like I don't use it because I feel it's burned by the first 3 years of it sucking. Like it's actually better now. It's really better. Like, but
see my face.
Yeah. Hey Siri, what's up?
No, thank you.
Just gazing out my window and penning some haikus.
Cool.
No, thank you.
Siri, what's my name?
Exactly. Dead air.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, but now, so Apple is like, again, it's a PR push. They are really, really, really like pushing this out there that they're really revamping Siri. And
Great.
the next Siri is gonna be crazy.
Awesome. I can't wait.
It's gonna be crazy.
I mean,
so you're not buying it. That's my whole point. I'm really up to see like if they get you and you don't care.
No, I mean, I'm not gung ho about it. Like in the landscape of voice recognition, I mean, you have Cortana, you have Alexa, you have Google Assistant, and you have Siri. I think those are the top dogs. So, I mean, I think Siri is last, in my opinion, in last place. like
Never first.
Alexa is on point.
Alexa's
She's
on
never
point.
failed me.
Yep.
I've never tried Google Assistant. I've tried Cortana before, and Siri always fails me.
Cortana's not good.
I mean, I think Apple in terms of, I mean, you got to think Apple, Google, Amazon, they both got bread. So they both can acquire companies that are in this space developing new technology. And that's all Apple's done from day one. They acquired, I forgot the name of the company. They acquired the guy that developed Siri.
Yeah.
And then he went on to go work for someone else. So they're still trying to acquire people and get the
But
technology
they're
up.
Apple. You think they're gonna get their shit together?
They're Apple post Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. Oh wow. You're still saying Tim Cook's not getting it done.
You're saying he is?
I mean,
No, you're saying he is?
I got a cool new building.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Great.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I hear you. I'm optimistic. But I don't know if it's going to get me. I think the real leap here is, as my point earlier is, no matter how good Siri gets, we're all still burnt. So no one's going to be like, oh, now I'm going to try Siri. I bet Siri's dope now because it's already like either you're using it or you're not. Like I don't think I ever use Siri.
It's kind of gimmicky, you know?
Yeah.
Like when would you ever use Siri? Like when?
Siri, what's my name?
But like that's a gimmick. You're not going to do that 100 times. You do that 5 times, it's old.
Yes.
What are you going to do next?
Okay.
I mean, if Siri, I mean, I know Siri can do this now. Siri call me an Uber, or Siri book me a reservation, open table.
Right.
Like it's able to talk through, you know, the various apps that you have on your phone. But like, how often do you even do that?
I don't.
Exactly.
Also, a lot of this feels goofy. Siri, get me a blah blah blah. Like, it's goofy.
Exactly.
Like, I'd rather just do it. Like it's I mean, you look like an ass. You look like a jerk. Like, hey Joe, book a reservation. I got this, Keely. Siri, give me a reservation at Mozart tonight. That's stupid.
If I could ask Siri to find me flight information for a specific time, and I don't have to spend the time doing that, that would be awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
Siri, I'm trying to get to Chicago. Find me the cheapest flight.
Thank you.
Anyway, like that's different. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's different. All right, I agree. Moving on. But we'll see how it comes out. We'll see what maybe the new generation will be able to do that.
Maybe.
Also, just on a side note, I think it's so odd and weird that Microsoft named their thing Cortana after the Cortana in the Halo franchise. When in the last Halo I played, the whole storyline was how Cortana went rogue, a la Hal in 2001.
Right.
It was all about Cortana's like gone power crazy and hungry, and all she has too much power, and we gotta go take her down. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of bad marketing anyway.
Hey.
But we'll see. All right, so I wonder if they didn't consult with the Halo folks before they named it Cortana, before they made Cortana a bad guy. Anyway, it's like calling. Like they have a new phone. It's called Vader. It's like what? Anyway, all right. So Amazon. This is an interesting debate, which I think which I never really thought about in these terms. But when you think about what obviously Netflix is, killing the game in the streaming world and then creating a bunch of original content. So Amazon follows suit. They're spending a lot of money creating a bunch of original content for their Amazon Prime and the Amazon TV thing, which begs the question. Amazon, unlike Netflix, also has a little something called Amazon Music. Mm-hmm. And Apple obviously has Apple Music, but Apple's not in the original programming game. They're just not. Mm-hmm. They're not in TV or anything else. Amazon is. So why, with the money that they have and the infrastructure it has, why won't Amazon just be like a record label?
Because
why don't they just start putting out music themselves?
That's not
original content.
That's not where the money's at least as it relates to music as a category.
Right.
Well, the money as it relates to music is subscribers.
Right.
So, and you want them not only subscribe to music, but to everything you have on your platform. Right. So the music is just a tease, an appetizer to get them to adopt everything.
Right.
So why would I be spending money on developing actual music?
I agree.
When I could spend marketing dollars to build awareness around my whole entire platform.
Right.
So I think that would be a huge. I know they're not doing it, but that would be a huge strategic mistake if they decided to do that. Because like, man, music is democratic now. It's democratized, and how the value of it is lessened because it's everywhere. And the fact that people want accessibility to everything, that's changed the whole landscape. Like before, back in the day when record labels were popping, like you almost had an allegiance to the record label. I love Violator, or I love Def Jam, or whatever. Like you don't have that now. Like who cares about the record label?
Yeah.
Who cares? Like a record label doesn't even have a brand really anymore.
Yeah.
Like what brand? What record label has a strong brand now? Who?
I mean, not a sub label, not any label. Like I can't think of
like what does Interscope mean now? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
I mean, even like Geffen, I was just thinking about Questlove. They're talking about the importance of Geffen music, and they had Pearl Jam, and they had Nirvana, and they had Aerosmith, and then they had them, and
it was a brand,
and then whatever. And now, what does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything now.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. It's a good point. Good point.
I mean, because also with that point too, like when you talk about Geffen or you talk about Interscope, even like the cadre of artists, they were kind of more similar than different. There was a tone, right? Each record label had its own tone.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist now.
Exactly. Like, Death Row's going to be this.
Right.
Interscope's going to give you this.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Geffen's going to give you a little of this. I mean, you saw some of those, like, supreme indie, even, like, the supreme important indie record labels like Sub Pop out in the Pacific Northwest. They still exist as a brand, and they mean something, but they're not really putting out meaningful records anymore. Not like that.
Right.
I mean, so I don't know. Anyway, see, that's a good point. Well, Amazon's official statement on it is, which is could not be more bullshit. Because everything you said is 100% right. That's the real reason. Amazon's reason is, this is a good one. Labels really play up an important part in the world. It's really not our interest to displace them.
Great.
Right.
Great.
They do not play an important part in the world.
Thank you, guys.
It's not your interest to displace them because it's bad business and you don't want to fuck with it. Just say that. All right. This is ridiculous.
What question for you though? Have you messed with Amazon Music? I've never messed with it.
Never even.
You have a Prime account?
I do.
And you still haven't checked it out?
Don't even.
Exactly.
No, I do.
Right.
I guess it's free for me. I can just go there and mess with it.
I believe so. I believe.
I mean, I'm already paying for it, so I might as well just check it out.
Yeah.
What is it, like Apple Music? I don't even know.
It's similar. I've looked at it very quickly. It's similar, but I don't think they have the extensive library as like Spotify or Apple Music. So it's limited, I
mean, there's a huge ceiling for them to do something.
Right.
But they got some of the money to do something, I mean, but Bezos right now is throwing a lot of his money into the Washington Post to get this. To the Washington Post is doing good work over there, by the way. separate thing. I will say this. Another side note. The demise of newspapers have been fucking greatly exaggerated because newspapers have been maligned and going down, but like Bezos came in, bought the Washington Post, spent a bunch of money in there, and now because of the money he's funneling in there, they're doing all the important stories about Trump. They're breaking all these Trump stories. The New York Times too. Not the New York Times broke the one about Comey and his memos, but everything else has been Washington Post. It's like this is their moment, and just like it was their moment when they broke Watergate with Nixon, like they sort of feel like we gonna be all over this, and so Bezos, I don't know if it's. I mean, I know that he's dumping money and giving them resources, and they're getting it, and it's getting it done. That's
awesome.
It just goes to show you that the importance of newspapers and the importance of good reporting.
Right.
Still exists. The need.
I
for
would
that
say
stuff
I would say the
exists.
latter than the former. Just good reporting. It doesn't matter what the medium is.
That's a good point.
That's
a good point.
I don't need to have a printed out newspaper and get it from the corner to be able to get the information. The information is most important.
That's very true. But I will say the institution of the Washington Post as a news delivery service, whether it comes to me on my phone or it comes to me in a newspaper, is still a place for it.
100%.
So I think that's good to know. We wouldn't know that if it weren't guys like Bezos who said, "I believe in this. Let's put some money in there and let's see what these guys can do with the money."
Right.
And they're doing shit. They're actually they may save our democracy. So, I don't know. I feel strongly about that, but.
You're really passionate about that.
I could be wrong. This is Bezos because every time I turn on, like the Washington Post is killing the game, and they were like dead.
Right.
And like,
brought it back to life.
I just think Bezos somewhere like get another check.
Right. Make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen, and they're doing it. So, like more resources. It's about resources.
Right.
It's not like they're like he's not making a check and to take down Donald Trump. He's making a check to give them the resources to take him down.
Right.
Anyway. Or to find the truth, I should say. I was going to take him down. Find the truth. He's taking himself down. Upfronts is happening right now. I'm just gonna ahead. Upfronts going on. This is where you find out if what shows are renewed and stay. And also a whole new crop of shows. What's coming.
Yep.
And as it relates to us, there's guess what? More superhero shows coming.
Yep.
A character who I completely forgot about. DC character from the 80s. Black Lightning. He's back. He's coming in a TV show.
Yeah,
so that one, I like that. So Black Lightning's coming. He's coming. And then also Krypton is coming to Sci-Fi, which is that's the ill-fated planet where Superman is from, and Supergirl. If you like that show too, and then Gotham's still kicking.
Yep.
So I mean, I guess I wonder when we're gonna get to the point. I keep teasing it every year. Every year in Gotham, they tease some foreshadowing of what's gonna happen. And I know this season they already get to the point where Bruce Wayne is like training and doing karate and shit, But I wonder if they'll get to the point where if the show ends with the Batman,
right?
But I'm sure it will. But anyway, it's interesting.
They would have to.
Yeah, they have to. And then Flash is still going strong and all this stuff. I mean, DC continues. I guess the question I have for you is: DC continues to kill it and do extremely well in the TV world.
Yeah.
Not just on the CW, which is a Warner Brothers property. Warner Brothers owns DC, so the CW is pumping that stuff out.
Right.
And not everything was success. Legends didn't really go well, but other properties too, like Sci-Fi and Fox, are doing DC stuff.
Fox is doing Marvel stuff too.
Fox doing Marvel.
They have the new Marvel show coming out with The Gifted with Bryan Singer. I've actually worked on the show for the upfronts.
Yeah. How's it look?
And it looks great. I've seen the pilot. It's awesome. It's dope.
Wow.
It's pretty fresh.
Okay.
And I think that would be huge actually for Fox. I think it's one of their biggest properties they're trying to sell this year. So
wow.
Yeah.
Now is this the one? Is this the X-Men related one?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
I think we have that. I just deleted it. I just deleted it. All right. But you saw. So let's talk about it. You saw the pilot.
Saw the pilot. It's dope.
Did Singer direct the pilot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure did. Yeah.
Huh. Well, he knows a thing or two about the X-Men and Marvel.
He's done what, I think three or four movies.
Maybe four. Yeah. Because he's done these last three.
Yeah.
Or two.
I thought it was the last two, and I thought it was like maybe like I don't know what the sequencing is.
Well, he's done at least two of the first
exactly.
generation.
I think it's four,
and he's done at least 2 to 3
exactly.
of this new generation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. So anyway, the question is: do you think DC, for my sake, do you think DC's ever going to get their act together when it comes to
no
the films?
No.
You know what looks fresh as hell? Wonder Woman.
I will agree with that.
Wonder Woman.
But does it only look fresh because she looks sexy as hell?
That's part of it.
Thank you.
but just the campaign, the billboards are dope. Like the message dope. Like the trailer's dope.
Everything's dope.
I mean, I just really hope it's not dark. It's bright. It's like Zack Snyder's like greasy, grimy,
Or it's both.
dark hands.
It looks like it's a good combination of both.
Okay. Justice League still looks a little Zack Snyder-y. I'm hopeful. Looks a little, and the Batman by nature is going to be dark, but that's fine. I don't know, DC, to get it together.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think they'll have a major win. They better have a major win with Wonder Woman because there's been so much marketing spent on it. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen it everywhere,
Yeah, no,
like
they're
more than anything.
Really, really pushing it. They're pushing it because it's testing well.
Right.
So that's why, like, it's testing well. So they're leaning on it. 'Cause
I'm
they
looking forward to it.
They need a hit like that.
Oh yeah,
They need a hit.
I think they're gonna get it though. They're
Yeah,
gonna smash
hopefully
it.
they'll-
It might be the biggest.
Yeah, it might. Well, that won't take much because Dawn of Justice. I mean, Batman vs Superman and Superman. Zack Snyder 1 and Zack Snyder 2 were like
No, I'm saying
doo-doo machines.
I'm saying I think it might be the biggest for 2017. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
I'm saying. Like
Okay.
what else is contending?
Yeah, I guess. Well, we have the end of the year. We have Star Wars.
I mean, that would be the only contender probably.
Yeah, and we have Blade Runner too.
I don't think Blade Runner is going to top Wonder Woman. I don't think so. I bet right now. I bet you $1 million right now on air.
You're probably right.
All right.
Blade Runner is kind of a niche audience, although the movie looks fresh as hell, though.
Yeah.
Looks fresh as hell. Roger Deakins cinematography. All right. Last thing. Well, not second to last thing. I'm excited about this. I'm gonna have to go see this tomorrow night. But it looks scary. But Alien Covenant, like they're drawing me back in. Like
My man just seen it. Seen the screening last night.
Uh-oh.
Jerome.
Jerome,
And,
what did he say?
I don't think he's a fan of the Alien franchise,
Yeah.
so he might be skewed. But he said it was whack.
Ah, come on, Jerome. Come on, Rome.
He said
No.
he said it was weak.
No.
What you're doing right now is my same reaction because I'm
Ow.
an Alien fan.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't know.
But Prometheus, were you like?
I love Prometheus.
Okay.
I mean, I love Prometheus as a concept. But
Right.
if you're comparing it with the other pieces of the Alien franchise, it's not one of the top three by no means.
Well, I think
it's like the last.
I think that Prometheus for me, I was just really excited about Ridley Scott coming back.
Right.
I mean, Damien Lindelof wrote it, which makes me mad. I just feel like Lindelof ruined it with all of his
It's more cerebral.
ideas that don't
Right.
go anywhere,
Right.
and they don't like he's. So I just wanted more of a cohesive.
You wanted more
like-
blood and guts?
No, I just wanted a straight line narratively because this is he's going back to the origin story, right?
Yeah.
I want to see the origin story, like this is pre-Ripley,
Right.
like how they got to Alien 1.
Right.
So I thought,
But that's what this is.
that's what this is.
Yeah.
But I was
This
so
is
now,
the sequel to Prometheus.
I know, so that's what we're finally gonna get. But I'm just saying, I was disappointed about Prometheus because they didn't advertise it as that. Like we're gonna do 2 movies that's gonna
Oh,
get us
I
there.
got you, I got
this
you.
is the first part,
Right,
and then said it was like this is the prequel to Alien, and it was done. I was like, well, what happened?
Right.
Like, oh no, we got another prequel coming. That's gonna be the one. I'm like, come on now. Anyway,
Well, everything I've seen, trailer-wise,
Looks
this shit looks
ridiculous.
fresh.
Looks fresh as
crazy
hell.
stuff.
And in Aliens, they in Aliens they go to this planet and they're all the people are already
Dead.
dead.
Yep.
So I'm assuming this is the planet they go to.
Yep.
Actually, both movies they go to the same planet.
Right.
So yeah.
I just want to go back and watch them all.
I
haven't seen them in a minute.
I think Alien 3 and 4 suspect.
Definitely.
4 is like okay-ish. 3 is terrible.
Still want to watch them. Just to get all the facts. See if it all lands.
Yeah, that's not Aliens the second one. Aliens is like that's one of my favorite movies of
Right.
all time. So that one holds up to me.
But like, is it hold up in 2017? Like, of course it holds up when you watched it back when it came out
No.
because it was so innovative. But does it hold up now?
yeah, I just we're at Fox with Rome.
That's right. You did buy that.
I just bought it.
I
Like
forgot it.
that
That's
shit
right.
is fresh right
That's
now.
right.
James Cameron. Like it's just fresh. He knows how to make an action movie. He knows how to build suspense. The practical effects are good. There's not one thing in that movie that's like, oh, that looks fake. It's like it's on point, 100%. And because a lot of it's practical effects and puppets and stuff, and like and people in suits, and it's just really well done. And all the mech, all the guns and shit are dope. And all that stuff. People, I say this all the time, but people forget that all the tech and mech and everything that James Cameron created in Aliens is 100% the birth of everything you see in Halo. All that stuff in Halo, the counter gun, all that stuff you see is a rip off from Alien. I wonder how much, if they're able to I wonder how that worked, because it's a really direct rip off.
I think I could have sworn that I read years ago that Cameron was involved with
Had to be
Xbox, involved with Halo franchise.
Okay, had to be.
Because I remember he was developing content. He was developing a piece, like a movie for just for you to see it on the Xbox platform.
Okay, because I'm like, how do they do that? Because all that stuff is just straight from Aliens. All that technology. Right. The whole world of Halo is the world of Aliens, the second one. Anyway, all that stuff's dope. Speaking of movies that are also in my top 5 that are back, Cameron is re-releasing Terminator 2 this year, and he's done a 3D version of it. He's done him. I know. Look out! If anyone knows anything about 3D, now listen. Here's what I'll say. America. First of all, Terminator 2 one of my favorite movies of all time, along with Aliens. And here's what I'll say about this. If anyone knows anything about 3D, it's James Cameron.
Of course.
So if you tell me that someone's doing a
camera.
3D conversion of something, I'm like, snooze. 3D conversions suck. They never work out. Like, they're always terrible. They're horrible. That Clash of the Titans sequel, that was the worst 3D conversion ever. It was blurry. Like, no. But if Cameron is doing a 3D conversion of his own movie,
Yeah, it'll be dope.
like of one of my favorite movies,
I'm just saying, I'm not jumping out the seat.
I'm jumping right off the seat.
All right.
I'm really excited about that.
So wait, he's re-releasing it in theaters?
Huh?
Okay, that's what's up.
Like a whole in the special theaters of the thing, like he's making a big deal out of it.
That's what's up.
So I will definitely be there day one, checking it out. I forgot about Pandora's opening. What's going on in Pandora, in Disney World? Is it a big dome when you walk in the place and it's Pandora? I don't know.
The commercials
What
I've
is it?
seen, it just shows the characters. I haven't seen anything more than that.
But they make it feel like that you're actually in there and it's all interactive. It's just flying around and James Cameron.
Hey, let's go.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, last but not least, Jimmy Kimmel's back. Yeah, see, it's a whole joint,
That's what's
but
up.
it's like it has to be a dome because
How do you keep the environment?
yeah,
Right.
it's like Jurassic Park style.
That's dope.
I don't know. Oh,
Anywho,
I'm sorry.
you said Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Jimmy Kimmel is hosting the Oscars again.
Yes, he is.
Good, bad.
90th.
Yeah, that's
The
what he
90th anniversary. What do I think?
Yep.
I think that it'll be good. Like it gives them a lot of comedic feeder, in the sense that because of what happened, this year, he can make a huge joke out of it, and people are obviously going to tune in to see, hey, are they going to get it right this year? So that's going to be big.
Yeah, it's almost like he has to host it to follow up.
Exactly.
Like last year we did this year we're going to do this, you know.
Right.
So, and also announcing it this early gives him a lot of time to sort of really prepare. And
exactly.
this guy is super well prepared and
tone down those racial innuendos.
yeah, exactly.
Lion King. What?
Like, come here, little boy.
Right.
I'm lifting you up. Huh? That's not.
Man.
That was probably ill conceived. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got, man. What do you anything else?
Nah, man. I think we talked a lot. So good topics, good stories. I look forward to rapping next week.
Cool.
Where can they find you, man?
You can find me on the Instagram and the Twitters at Joe K Braswell. Where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Akili Shine, AKILISHINE.
Cool. That's it. We'll see you next time.
We out.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.